Ceramics, I think, is just like clay itself, probably like the most moldable and multi-formed art medium out there. One can go through ceramics and, start out as a sculptor, but then they become a painter on ceramics. So it can take all kinds of forms. So I've started in one way and I ended up another way, and where I started was in wheel throwing. What I like about throwing is that hypnotic sort of smooth motions. I don't have to think too much, and I hesitate to use the word meditative because it's not as relaxing as one would think, but it is meditative in the sense that you're using the same motions repetitively. Pretty much from the beginning, I had a penchant for ceramics that had narrow openings, so narrow-necked vases, bottles, and part of that is we don't need to use plastic water bottles as much. And I did that for years to the point where I just kind of got bored with it. So I moved into hand building, where you can get even larger and larger and more complicated forms. In hand building, you can make something very irregular, or you can move into like figure sculpture. And I dabbled a lot in figure sculpture. I would make planters. Planters are really important to me. That's kind of a continuous form or like function that I have done since the beginning. They take the form of like a head or a face, a lot of times like Albert Durer's woodcuts, and I just translate them into 3D. The mold projects I'm working on right now are these trash items that I've found off the street in New York City. They take the form of like cardboard packing materials, styrofoam packing materials, also broken furniture pieces, all kinds of miscellaneous items. But I take those, I make a mold of them, and I either cast or I press clay into those molds, build something out of it, and then I distort it in some way so that it's not just the original piece. The other part of that is these items were just trash and they weren't meant for aesthetic sort of acceptance, and then I transferred that understanding, my understanding, into the art form that I work with, which is clay. Even like the worst environmentally unfriendly piece of trash could be beautiful. You're making use of waste. You're making use of it by valuing it aesthetically.